Welcome to the Clara Monroe Series. This is Book 1, Echoes of the Past, Chapter 3, by Mara Blackwood. Now, Chapter 3, The Missing Space. Clara didn't go home after the key thought. She told herself it was strategy. If she went back to the apartment and found the lock tampered with, she would have to involve uniforms. If she involved uniforms, the thing would become public. If it became public, it would become manageable by committees and protocols. And whatever this was, it didn't feel like something that would stay inside a report. So she stayed at her desk until the precinct lights shifted from morning harsh to afternoon thin. She kept working until her eyes stopped trying to make the phone buzz when it didn't. At 1:37 p.m., Halpern pushed her door open without knocking. He did it the way he always did when he wanted to see her face before he spoke. "Doorbell raw file came back," he said. Clara didn't look up. "Edited?" "Not edited," Halpern said. "Worse. Deleted." That got her eyes up. Halpern held a small envelope. Inside was a thumb drive, evidence tag already taped on. "IT pulled what they could from the cloud," he said. "The app shows signal interruption, but the metadata says the system recorded, then the segment was purged. Not corrupted. Purged." Clara sat very still. "Who has access?" she asked. "Anyone with the login," Halpern said, "and anyone who can spoof the device, according to IT. But here's the thing." He exhaled. The deletion command came from inside the house network, at 2:16. Clara let the time settle. 2:14, the photo timestamp. 2:16, the deletion. 2:18, last ping on the burner, near Maple Crest. A sequence, a demonstration. "The router logs?" she asked. Halpern shook his head. "Router was reset this morning. Daniel says he didn't touch it. IT says it was factory reset." Clara's jaw tightened once, then smoothed again. "Okay," she said. "What else?" Halpern glanced down at his notes. Cleaner checked out. Marisol's been with them 2 years. No criminal record. She has an alibi. She was working another house overnight. There's a ring cam to back it. "Daniel's sister?" Clara asked. Halpern's mouth flattened. "Kim Ward. Lives 20 minutes away. Says she hasn't been inside their house in a month." Clara nodded. "And Evelyn's phone?" she asked. Halpern's expression shifted. "That's the other thing. Her phone wasn't in the house." Clara held his gaze. "Not on her, not in the kitchen, not upstairs." "No," Halpern said. "Husband says she always misplaces it. But we swept the house. Nothing." Clara felt the case take another step inward. Evelyn's phone missing. A book missing. 13 minutes missing. Now, a key possibly missing. Someone was creating negative space and forcing her to stare at it. "Warrants for her accounts?" Clara asked. "Judge signed," Halpern said. "Digital forensics is pulling it now. We'll have call logs by end of day." Clara reached for her coat. "Where are you going?" Halpern asked. "Back to Maple Crest," Clara said. "I want to see the study again, and I want Daniel's router in evidence." Halpern hesitated. "You want to talk to him again?" "I want to watch him when I take his comfort away," Clara said. Halpern didn't argue. Maple Crest looked different in daylight. The patrol tape was gone. The street had returned to its performance of safety. A lawn service truck whined in the distance like nothing mattered. Clara parked across from the Ward house and studied it for a full minute before she got out. White brick, symmetry, expensive without imagination, quiet house. She walked up the front path. Halpern met her at the door with a uniform. Daniel Ward stood just inside, his lawyer present again, a hand on Daniel's shoulder like an anchor. Daniel's eyes went immediately to Clara, as if she was the only thing that had changed since morning. "Detective," the lawyer said, too cordial. "We weren't told you'd be returning." "You were told," Halpern said flatly. Clara held up a warrant. "We're taking the router," she said, "and any computers or storage devices that connect to your security system." Daniel blinked rapidly. "Why?" "Because your footage was deleted at 2:16 a.m. from inside your home network," Clara said. Daniel's mouth fell slightly open. His eyes slid to his lawyer, then back. "That's impossible," he said. "I was asleep. I don't even know how to—" Clara watched him. People told the truth in small physical betrayals. A shoulder that rose, a swallow that came late, a blink that arrived too early. Daniel's face held panic, real enough to be messy. "Who has your login?" Clara asked. Daniel shook his head. Just me and Evelyn." "Did you ever give it to anyone?" Clara asked. "A neighbor? A family member? A technician?" "No," Daniel said. Then, after a couple of seconds, "The installer had it when he set it up. But that was years ago." Clara nodded. "Name of the company?" Daniel told her. Halpern wrote it down. Clara moved past Daniel into the hallway without waiting for permission. The house smelled like cleaning product now, sharp and artificial. Someone had tried to erase the metallic undertone. In the study, the desk sat empty. The chair was gone, the lamp was off. The room felt like a stage after the actors had left. The bookshelf remained. The missing space remained. Clara stood in front of it and looked at the dust outline again. "Photograph the shelves," she said to the tech behind her. "Every spine, every title. I want a catalog." She leaned in, careful not to touch. The dust along the back panel was slightly disturbed to the right of the empty space. Faint marks, like something had been slid behind the books and then removed. The card had been there, but so had something else. Clara turned her head slightly, letting the light catch the wood. A scratch. Thin. Not a gouge. More like someone had dragged the tip of a key along the back panel. A 3-line scratch. Her chest tightened again. It wasn't just a symbol on paper, it was a habit, a signature. Clara stepped back and made herself breathe. Halpern appeared beside her. "What?" he asked quietly. "There's a mark," Clara said. "Get it photographed, and pull the shelf from the wall if we can do it without destroying it." Halpern nodded. "You think there's something hidden back there?" "I think whoever did this likes leaving things where they can be found," Clara said. Halpern looked at her. "Like the card." Clara didn't answer. She moved to the desk area, scanning the floor. The technicians had already vacuumed for trace, but vacuuming didn't remove intent. Near the baseboard, beneath where the desk had been, she spotted a small dark fleck. Not ash this time. A fragment of paper, torn, wedged against the wall as if it had been pushed there by a shoe. Clara crouched. The fragment was thick, cream-colored, expensive stock. The edge had a faint raised pattern, like letterhead. A torn corner of something that had been ripped quickly. She didn't touch it. She pointed. "Bag that," she said. The tech moved in with tweezers. Clara stood again. Then she noticed the window. The study window faced the backyard, a small patio, a line of trees beyond the fence. In daylight, the glass showed faint smudges at the lower right corner, fingerprints maybe, or a hand pressed against it. Clara stepped closer. The smudges were on the outside. Someone had stood on the patio and looked in. At 2:14. At 2:16, watching. Clara's eyes traveled to the edge of the window frame. A thin strip of clear tape clung there, almost invisible. A remnant. Someone had taped something to the frame and removed it. Possibly a small camera, a phone, a recording device. Clara's skin prickled. She pictured the photo again. The angle from inside the room, steady and level. Not a hurried snap, a composed frame. Someone had staged the shot. Someone had wanted Clara to see it. She turned to Halpern. "Get the patio dusted," she said. "Footprints, fibers, anything." Halpern's eyes narrowed. "You think they were outside?" "I think they were everywhere they needed to be," Clara said. On the way out, Daniel Ward stood in the kitchen again, looking like the room had become a cage. Clara stopped in the doorway. Daniel's lawyer cleared his throat as if to remind her of rules. Clara ignored him. "Daniel," she said. He looked up. His eyes were bloodshot now. "You told me Evelyn was upset lately," Clara said. "That she was remembering things." Daniel nodded, wary. "What did she do when she was upset?" Clara asked. He frowned. "She wrote. She would lock herself in the study and write." "What did she write?" Clara asked. "I don't know," he said quickly. "I didn't read it." Clara watched him. "Did she ever show you anything? A notebook? A letter? A photo?" Daniel hesitated. That was the tell. His eyes flicked toward the counter, toward the corner where a small pile of mail sat. He swallowed. "She showed me a picture once." Clara held still. "Of what?" Daniel's voice dropped. "Of her brother, when he was alive." Clara's pulse stayed even. "She made it." "What about it?" she asked. Daniel's hands twitched against the table edge. "She said she didn't think it was him." Clara's gaze sharpened. "Explain." Daniel shook his head, frustrated. "I don't know how. It was a photo from when she was in high school. She'd kept it for years. But she said the face didn't feel right. Like something was off." Clara felt the room narrow. "The face didn't feel right," she repeated. Daniel nodded, eyes glossy. "She said she'd been looking at it and suddenly, she couldn't remember the moment it was taken. She said that scared her more than anything. Like the memory had been replaced. Clara thought of the sentence on the evidence card. "You always liked quiet houses." A line that belonged to someone who knew what she liked. Someone who knew her habits. Someone who knew how to turn a preference into a weapon. "Where is that photo now?" Clara asked. Daniel blinked. "I don't know." "Did you keep it?" Clara asked. "No." "Did Evelyn keep it?" Clara pressed. Daniel's voice cracked. "She said she put it somewhere safe." Clara stared at him for a beat too long. Then she nodded once and turned away. Halpern followed her to the front door. Outside, the air smelled like cut grass and denial. Halpern lowered his voice. "That photo in the study, Evelyn with her brother, did you see it?" Clara didn't answer immediately. She looked at the house, at the windows, at the neat yard. "At first glance," she said, "it looked like siblings." Halpern frowned. "And at second glance?" Clara's mouth tightened. "At second glance," she said, "it looked like someone wearing the idea of a person." Halpern stared at her. "Monroe?" She cut him off with a look. Not harsh, just final. "We'll get the forensics," she said. "We'll get Evelyn's phone data. We'll find out what book is missing." Halpern nodded, but his eyes stayed on her face like he was searching for something she wasn't offering. Clara walked to her car. As she opened the door, a small white shape caught her eye beneath the windshield wiper. A folded piece of paper, crisp and clean, as if it had been placed with gloved hands. Her breath stopped for half a second. Halpern's voice behind her sharpened. "Don't touch it." Clara didn't. She stared at the paper until the world narrowed to that single rectangle. Evidence tech wasn't here. Not yet. Halpern stepped closer, cautious. "Where the hell did that come from?" he muttered. Clara's eyes stayed on the paper. She could see the edge of thick cream stalk, the same as the torn fragment in the study. On the outside, 3 black strokes. Clara felt the smallest shift inside her. Not fear, not panic. A recognition settling into place like a lock turning. Whoever was doing this wasn't only inside the ward case. They were inside her routine, her car, her day, her edges. Halpern called for a tech. His voice was tight. Clara stood perfectly still until the gloved hands arrived. The tech lifted the paper carefully with tweezers, bagged it, and sealed it. Halpern looked at Clara. "You want to tell me what the hell this is?" Clara stared at the evidence bag. She could see the folded paper inside, neat as a letter. She imagined the sentence waiting on the other side. She imagined it knowing her. "No," she said. Not because she didn't trust Halpern, because saying it out loud would make it real. And if it was real, it could reach further. Halpern's face tightened. He didn't press. Clara got into her car and shut the door. She sat with her hands on the steering wheel, not turning the key yet. Her phone was still off. In the quiet, she listened for her own breathing. Then she realized something that made her stomach dip. If someone could place a note on her windshield in broad daylight, in a neighborhood crawling with uniforms and technicians, they hadn't been afraid of being seen. They had wanted to be seen. Clara stared straight ahead. And in the reflected glass of her rearview mirror, for the briefest moment, she thought she saw a figure across the street, standing still beside a mailbox, head slightly tilted, watching her. When she turned her head, the sidewalk was empty. Only the quiet house. That was Chapter 3 of Echoes of the Past, part of the Clara Monroe series. If you're following the investigation, the next chapter continues right where this one leaves off. I'll see you there.